Do you ever watch a movie and one way or the other what the general consensus is before you see it? And then you hear whether it be good or bad. And then you watch it and you make your own mind up and then think, did I just watch the same film that everyone else just did? Because, yeah, I've kind of got that feeling with a new film, Obsession, which came out this weekend. So I watched it today. Obsession is a new horror film. It's from Blumhouse, and it basically tells a story, which is a quite a good concept here, about a guy buys this wishing thing, and he's got this massive crush on this young woman, and he makes a wish that she falls in love with him, basically. And then of course the whole care for what you wish for thing, it all goes terribly wrong, hence the title Obsession. So, this is quite a neat concept. Seen the trailer a couple of times, thought it looked quite interesting. And this has been getting some pretty rave reviews. And even from audiences and critics, like 94% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, 94% critic score. One of those times where it actually does happen from when the audiences are in and critics are in sync. So, I was like, I thought this film looked all right. Interesting concept. Went to see it today. And while I didn't hate it, I really didn't like it either. I just thought this film was boring and obnoxious. And it just really irritated me. Like, it's not the worst film of the year or anything like that. It's not even the worst horror film of the year. It's not quite as bad as, say, yeah, I'm going to mention it again, Scream 7. And I don't know if you class The Bride as a horror film. It was a horror to sit through, but that's still the worst film of the year by quite some margin. But yeah, I just really didn't like this film. And look, I get it. I'm in the minority with this one. And sometimes it goes the flip side. I like a film that everyone else hates. So, it happens. But this one I just could not get into. And even from the first couple of minutes. And there's one big reason for this is like, the main male character in this, Bear, I think he's Barry, but he gets called Bear, whatever. The first couple of minutes, I was just like, this guy's kind of fucking annoying. I was just like, he's just a big, massive, wet blanket. And I was like, oh, maybe the film's going to get better as it goes along or whatever. But no, through the whole film, he's a massive, annoying, wet blanket. I just really couldn't stand him. One of the most annoying characters I've came across in quite some time. Now, here's the reason why I didn't actually hate this film, and I very well could have hated it, but I'm in the dislike rather than hate category. And it's the performance of the girl who gets the wish made on her. Like the performance of the actress, Indy Larissette or something like that. Sorry, I fucked your name up, love. Sorry about that. But I will say this: she is the one thing that keeps this film watchable. She gives a fantastic performance. She is excellent in this film. Even when she comes on screen before the whole quote unquote obsession thing happens, she's actually got a bit of spark about her. Because I mentioned the first few minutes, like I said, the main male character, he's a pain in the arse. His pal who he's talking to, he's no much better. So like you've got the first few minutes, you're in the company of very annoying people, but she's actually got a bit of spark on her even before that, and you're sort of like, oh, I can see why he would be really into her. She's hot as fuck. She's got a lot of personality. What more could you ask for? And in a way, you can sort of think, well, if you had this sort of wish thing as well, you can sort of not blame him for doing something like this. If you had the chance, would you do it? Yeah, quite possibly. But oh, I just find his character so obnoxious. It's like, and most of the people in this film are pretty unlikable. And then, of course, I mentioned the great performance of this actress as well. But of course, you've got to make her character unlikable in this thing. So, like, nobody in this film is likable. There's nobody to root for. But the thing is that the person who's like the quote unquote the one who's been had the wish cut cast on her, she's the victim here. That's who the sympathy's with. You're sort of like, well, this isn't her fault, It's like, but that's why I think the actress here, she gives a great performance, and even then, I think she really rises above the material because I think this is a very badly written film, and like I said, I think this film's obnoxious, and they ever doing obnoxious things like shouting loud constantly. Oh, without going into spoilers, there's even loud, annoying, obnoxious noises over the end credits, which it was just like I couldn't get out of this film quick enough. At that point, I was just like, no, come on, whatever. If you love it, you love it. Good luck to you. You can love what you want, but no, this is why I'm never listen to critics and never let critics or anyone else's reviews or opinions influence my opinions. And look, you can have your opinions as well. I'm just saying what I think. My opinion is not gospel. It's just how I feel about this film. But you've got her doing like loud, obnoxious noise. Now, one thing for this horror film, at least they don't do jump scares. But there are annoying times when you'll have loud fucking shouting and screeching out of nowhere, and it's just like that's actually even worse than obnoxious jump scares. I'm sorry, but it is. I'm just like, oh, come on, shut up. Um, yeah, and I think the film it moves at a snail's pace. It's boring, like I said. It's just dull. There's nothing really to get behind. There's elements that could be interesting. Like I said, the idea is interesting here. I think that in the film, fair play to the guy, Curry Baker, I think his name is. He's a YouTuber and things like that. So, fair play to him. And look, at the end of the day, I'm going to fully admit I'm in the vast minority with this one because it came in, it had like a $16,000 production budget or something like that, and it made $16 million in the US this weekend alone, So, and it well beat its projections as well. Apparently, it was like $11 million or something like that was its original projections. So, this film's a huge success. So, what the fuck do I know? But yeah, I just could not get into this film. And then, yeah, it just left me feeling, yeah, whatever. Like I said, like I've seen worse this year. I've seen at least three worse films this year, and it sounds like I hate it. And I maybe hated elements of it, but like I said, the main actress's lead performance, she is great. She rises above the material, even when they have her doing stupid, obnoxious, annoying shit. That's actually in an obnoxious and annoying, in a sort of, oh, please shut up kind of way, not in a, oh, this really serves the story kind of way. Even though it is meant to push the story forward, I get it, but I was kind of like, eh, just ain't feeling this one. Maybe I would have been a bit kinder on it if there wasn't so much jizzing about it, saying, "Whoa, wow, it's fantastic! Wow, it's amazing!" And I'm just like, no, really, it's ironically for a film that's being called about called obsession or whatever. It's one of the film I'm just gonna really want to forget about kind of instantly. There you go. That's just my thoughts, and my probably very unpopular thoughts here. By the way, I hated the Blair Witch Project as well. So there you go. And look how that one turned out financially. So make of that what you will. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen, and goodbye.